Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday night team call for Wild Impact. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever because there's been things happening. So I'm glad. I feel a little more back on track and normal again. So I'm glad to be back and doing the calls with you. Last week we had Kim and Tanil run for us, and then there was the webinar, and then we had Cancun. So we have some recognition I'm going to go through from the last couple of weeks. So before I do recognition and then announce our guest speaker, just a couple quick reminders. The sneak peek ends tomorrow. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Talk to your prospects. We had a really great group. Some people are quietly watching, so fill them out, have them ask questions. And real important, guys, the last day there's a questionnaire. Please send them a message and ask them to fill out the questionnaire for us. Diamond Dash is in week 3. We have a Wild Impact Diamond Dash page to kind of push you guys a little bit more because it's hard with 300 coaches. So I know some of you have been struggling to keep on top of it. I want you to recommit. That's what I love about each week, starting over. It's a new opportunity to commit. I'm a little behind, and so I'm catching up on Mark Briggs' awesome call from this week. Okay, so recognition. You got 50 on the call. Come on, I want more. Text your teams. Okay, so recognition really quick, guys, because it's been a few weeks. I'm going to announce all the new Emeralds on the team. Jessica Fairbarn, Susie Ferreira, Monica Vallejo, Teresa Cipriani, Lynn Solek, Christina Roy, Jennifer Mengold, and Eleanor Lester. Awesome job, guys. And just FYI, if I ever forget somebody, please know it's not intentional and send me a message so I get you in next week. I have all the diamonds on the team keep track of the recognition for me, and it is just, mistakes happen. So if you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I didn't get announced and I ranked advanced last week, please just let me know and I will make it up to you. Okay, so we had a new Ruby, Christy Ball, awesome, this close, and a new diamond, Adria Michelle. Awesome, and a huge rank advancement, well, almost rank advancement. We had Lorene is now qualifying 4-star. Huge. She's this close. So 6 weeks she has to hold that so that she's an official 4-star diamond coach. So let's all wish her luck, and I know that she's going to push through and hang on to that for 6 weeks to meet that goal. Okay, enough about us. So you better sit back because this is a really long list of accomplishments. So Nicole is actually on our team. She's in the umbrella with us of Team Bearcat under Bob Lucido. So we are all technically on the same team. And when I started a couple years ago, she's one of the first coaches that I watched. And I remember, Nicole, your video you did. And I'm not going to really tell your story, but if anyone hasn't checked her out on YouTube, please do. She did I think it was a Super Saturday video where she talks about kind of filing bankruptcy and kind of the situation her family was in just a few years ago. And now she is like this close to the Millionaires Club. If you add her husband's account, which technically the company doesn't count, even though, hello, it's a ton of money. They made $1 million with Beachbody, and just, 4 years ago, filing bankruptcy. So, definitely watch her. I have learned a lot of my tips, especially regarding Success Club, from her. So she is an 11-star diamond coach, and she is 12-star qualifying. She is 1-star in her husband's business center and her second business center, which you're able to open once you're 2-star diamond, is at 1-star also. She has been 57 months straight in Success Club, 57 months straight, so since day 1, which was August of 2010. She's 2-time elite, a downline of over 8,500 coaches, and like I said, inches away from the Millionaires Club. She's earned every trip since she started in 2010. She's the mom of 2 girls, and when she started, her babies were 2 months old and 4 years old. And like I said, she was home with 1 income, and her household was struggling paying bills, and she filed bankruptcy. And I believe you just bought a house and you're almost in the Millionaires Club. So guys, you know, pay attention, take out your notes. One thing we're going to talk about tonight is goal setting. It is so important and something I wish I started a lot sooner in my journey, and something you hear a lot from me and your upline. And now you're going to hear it from someone else. So please take some notes and let's all start focusing a little bit on our goals. So Nicole, thank you for taking time out of your night and spending it with us, and you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, hi everybody. Yeah, so as Shane said, I started, I was reflecting today because I did the math, and we officially hit $1 million with today's check. But like Shane said, I'm not gonna be in the Millionaire Club until it's just on my account. So my husband's account is in there. And yeah, it's crazy to me that I was doing the math, and if we stayed with just my husband's income, it would have taken 22 years to hit that. So to do that in 4.5 years is pretty cool. And, you know, I posted on my regular Facebook timeline tonight, you know, a tip for all Beachbody coaches. And I basically just said, the 3 vital behaviors will just never let you down. Like that's, you know, I know you want to hear more, and I will share more with you tonight, but literally that's it every day though. Like I have not missed a day, you know, except Christmas maybe. I think I still log in on Christmas though. But other than that, every day, 3 vital behaviors. So my journey started in August of 2010 with P90X and Shakeology. It was before challenge packs, and I had a 2-month-old and a 4-year-old at home. My husband was making $44,000 a year, and we were just struggling, and it was hard. And we did end up filing bankruptcy, and it was a hard decision, but it was one of the most freeing decisions we've ever made, and we made it through just fine on the other end. And yeah, we're able to buy a house. We're closing on July 21st, even having been 4 years just shy of the bankruptcy. We're still able to get a great loan. So you can, you know, things aren't as bad after bankruptcy. It's all good here. And that Super Saturday video is actually in your Coach Online office too, under in the video library under Coach Success Stories. So that is there for you guys to check out. You know, because I don't want to bore you with my whole story. We'll just get to the meat and potatoes, so you can kind of look that up. So goal setting is next to personal development. It is my favorite topic to train on. Personal development is number 1 for me. Please make sure you are doing it. I had a big post on my team page last night. I was like, tell me why you wouldn't be doing it. And you know, people are just like, oh, I don't have time. And like, you have got to schedule it in. There should be, with podcasting these days, there is no reason why you can't get in personal development. So make sure you get a podcast app on your phone and you're listening to lots of great people out there. So my goal setting journey started actually on the first Beachbody cruise, March of 2011. So yeah, I earned that first trip. They had a program before. I'm not sure if they still have it, but it was like I don't even know the name of it. But if you got to Diamond in 90 days, you were able to get on the fast track, something like that. I don't know. But I earned the trip in 6 months, and I worked another MLM for 8 years. And I told my husband all 8 years that we were going on a trip. We were going to Hawaii. We were going on a cruise every year. I promised him a trip, and we never made it. So whenever 6 months doing Beachbody, we were on a trip, he was like, okay, do this thing. Let's figure this thing out. Like, he was sold. And I met Chalene Johnson for the first time. I listened to her speak. We went on this cruise, and there was like every day there was something to do. Meet with the top 10 coaches, meet with the trainers, meet with the, you know, kind of like they do now. And my husband's like, we're on vacation. Are you going to work? I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So, and this was just like a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000 people are on this trip. I don't even know. So I was like, I introduced myself to Christine Dwyer. I was just walking up to everybody. Keith and Bob were there, and they were like introducing me to people. I was like, oh my gosh. And so Shalene spoke, and she shared her program, 30daypush.com, which she still has. She's definitely, she adds to it. She's got a ton more programs. But let me tell you a little bit about my relationship with Shalene Johnson. That is the day it started. She told me, I sat there in awe of her. She shared all her social media tips. I was so impressed by her, like just businesswoman, like just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do everything this girl says. I got home. I signed up for 30daypush.com. I did all 30 days. I never missed an assignment. I did it from start to finish, and I fell in love with goal setting and Shalene Johnson. I totally fell in love with her. I began doing everything she had out there, and she had Turbo Kick and Pio and Hip Hop Hustle, and I was like, oh, what are those? Okay. I went and got certified in those, like Hip Hop Hustle. Like what? I don't even know how to Hip Hop Hustle, but I got certified in it. I'm like, whatever Shalene Johnson tells me to do, I am going to do it. So I got certified. I started teaching all of those programs. I went to her Camp Do More, which is like, she doesn't do it anymore. It's like an adult cheerleading camp. I walked in and I was like, oh my gosh, I do not fit in with any. They had colors on and like fishnets. And I was like, what is this place? What have I done? But I totally just loved her. And like I said, I would do whatever she said. So I went to this adult cheerleading camp, and I took my mom. My mom was like 50, 53. She's like, what are we doing? I'm like, I don't know. and we went, and I heard her speak, and it was like the personal development piece. So like every time she spoke at Summit, I was like, oh my gosh, I just absorbed her business sense more than anything. And I remember listening to her, and Brian Tracy spoke, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I really just pay $350 for this 4 days to be with her? And Brian Tracy was there. I was like, oh my gosh. And I got a picture with him, and I listened to her and her husband Brett speak. I went to every Camp Do More. She came out with these programs called Smart Success, Marketing Impact. I jumped on those. I've done 30daypush.com 9 times all the way through. I don't skip a day. People always are like, don't you like keep starting over? I'm like, nope. I have never skipped a day at 30-day push. So this is where I learned all my goal setting. And last year I was able to work with her, and my husband Mark and I were able to work with her husband Brett personally in a mentorship program. There were hundreds of applicants that applied, and they took about 25 couples, and we were blessed to be one of these couples. So I am now a friend of Shalene Johnson and have direct access to her, and it's pretty freaking amazing. And I think it has to do with the fact that I just absorbed everything from that day one with her. And she shares a lot about when you're goal setting. She shares how to set it all up with your priorities, right? So I'm going to just kind of start there. Something that I'd love for you guys to do. I'm going to give you lots of takeaways and really stuff to do. So I love the whole motivational type training, but I want you to take some action. So that's what I'm all about here. So here we go. Let's get into it. The first thing she talks about is rating some categories so we're going to talk about goals, but then how to line them up with your priorities. So step 1, you're going to, on a scale from 1 to 10 on a piece of paper, you're going to rate these categories that I outline, like I said, on a 1 to 10, 1 being most unhappy and 10 being most satisfied. So the first category is environment. So think about your environment, your workspace, your living space, where you have to kind of go every day to work, all of that. Like how happy are you in that environment? Like, are there things is it cluttered? Is it chaos? Are you not satisfied with what your environment's like? Take that from a 1 to 10. The next category, I'm going to do these from memory, so I hope I get through them all. The next category is finances. So how satisfied are you with your finances? Now, are you happy with what kind of money you make? What's in your savings, your retirement plan? You know, do you have that financial freedom that you want? Is that what you're desiring? All of that. Rate that from a 1 to 10. Next is leisure. So do you have enough fun? This for me was really low for a little while ago. So, you know, just do you have hobbies? Do you just take a day and just do crazy things like once a month, or is that something you even want to do? You know, so if you're like, well, no, I don't really have a lot of fun, but I don't really want to, then rate that a 10. That's okay. So it's kind of, this is all your stuff here. Your career, are you happy with your current career choice? Whether that be Beachbody or anything else, are you satisfied there? Career, financial, environment, leisure, spirituality. And again, this can be something that if you don't practice any sort of spirituality, that's okay. So you could rate yourself a 10. That doesn't mean, you know, if you don't practice or you don't believe or you don't have faith in, it doesn't mean you have to rate that as a 1. If you're satisfied in that category, that's fine too. So I'm going to come back because I feel like I'm missing some things, but usually those are like the most popular anyway, but I think there's a couple more categories. But when you're setting your top 10 goals, she shares in 30-Day Push to every week at the same time in the same place, write out your top 10 goals. And for a while, she just recently changed her thinking, but let's go with her old way of thinking. Write out your top 10 goals for the next 12 months. So usually for me, when I'm writing out my top 10 goals, I'm thinking I want to accomplish something by Summit, which is in July, by Leadership, which is in October, and by end of year. So those are like the milestones in my head that I want to accomplish goals by. And she tells you to write them out as if they've already happened. So let's say you rate, relationships is another one. So how happy are you in your relationships? Or 2 though, you want to do your partner relationship. How happy are you in that category? Do you have a partner? Do you want a partner? How's your relationship with your partner? Could you do better? And the other relationship, so keep this one separate, is friends, family. You know, do you want to spend more time? Do you not spend enough time with your family? Are they your priority? Things like that. So when doing your, oh, thank you. Someone's got that all taken care of for you guys at the bottom of the screen. Oh yeah, physical health, emotional health. I was missing everything. All right, cool. Thank you. So so let's talk about the top 10 goals. So the top 10 goals, you're gonna write these as if they have already happened. You're gonna look at those categories and you're gonna decide what you have ranked the lowest in. So let me give you my example. For 2 years, environment has been the lowest for me. We are in our starter home that we were only supposed to be in for 5 years. We bought 15 years ago. So, and it's small. I mean, it's doable, but the rooms are small. It's cluttered. It's time to move on. We don't have an office space. We don't have a workout space. The kitchen, we have 1 bathroom and we have 2 girls. One of them is about to be 9. So we all have to like single file walk by each other in the bathroom. Like just, it was time. So environment for us was like, okay, we've got to get out of here and we have got to figure this out. So that was what Shalene calls that is your key priority. So whatever you score lowest in is your key priority. And your top 10 goals will evolve most around that. And then your intrinsic priority is what you just do every day, no matter what. For me, that was my career. Beachbody. Nobody had to tell me come on, Nicole, do those 3 vital behaviors. You can do it. Nobody had to tell me that any time. I just did it. I got up every day. I did my 3 vital behaviors. I made time for it. If the kids were sick, I figured it out. If the kids were crazy running around the house, I figured it out. So that was never, it wasn't like no one had to make me do it. So if you're like super into fitness and you ranked that a 10, that might be your intrinsic priority. No one has to tell you to do your workout. So think about those 2 categories. So that, whatever you score the highest on, maybe not have, you don't really need your goals on that because you do it already. So when you're writing out your top 10 goals, you want to have your lowest categories in mind, your intrinsic, your key priority, which is what you want to work on the most. And you want to write your goals as if they've already happened. So my goals read, I am a 15-star diamond coach by my 5-year anniversary in October 2010. So they have, I've written it as if I'm already there, so I'm kind of walking the talk. It has a date, and it's realistic. It's not something, you know, I'm in 12-star qualification, so to hit 15-star in 3 months is doable. So that's one of my goals. Another one of my goals is based around volume. So when it was environment, my goals were all financial. They were like, even though like financially we were very satisfied with what we were doing, but we needed more money to put down for a down payment for a house. So that was just like my focus. Okay, need to make more money, and becoming a 15-star is going to help us get there because of that nice chunk of bonus that comes in every quarter. So writing out those types of goals. Another goal let me give you an idea of what my goals looked like 5 years ago. They said things like, I am a diamond coach in 90 days, and I would put a date down. I have enough money to take the dog to the vet. So we had been, no, there was no extra money for that. We have enough money to take the family to the dentist. We didn't have dental insurance, and nobody had been to the dentist for a couple of years because we didn't have an extra $150 for cleanings. We have paid off our real estate taxes. So we had back real estate taxes, and we were starting to get lien notices. Scared the crap out of me. So those were kind of, we will make $500 a week next 6 months or something like that. So those were my goals in the beginning. And now they're bigger. So you just want to make sure they're realistic. You want to make sure they match up to your key priority. You want to be specific. You want to make sure that they are realistic. Don't say I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks. Make sure if you have a weight loss goal, it's specific. Not just I want to feel better, I want to look better, it's got to be specific. You need to be able to measure these. You need to go back and from 90 days from now and be like, oh, now you want to write these in the same place, the same time every week. So I've heard a rumor that Shane may have this nickname too, and I think I have this nickname as well, but I think I am also Miss Consistency. So since April of 2011, when I first did 30-Day Push, I write out my top 10 goals for the year every Sunday night at 9 o'clock in my bed, which I am in right now. Because I don't have an office space, and this is where I'm quiet. So I have been doing that, for 4 years now, and the craziest things start happening. I got my husband involved in that. He's never written a goal in his life. But after I went to one of Camp Do More's and I heard Brett Johnson speak, he said, Mark, you need to get involved in this, and we have to write our goals together. So he started writing his goals, and he was like, I want to lose weight. I'm like, no, come on, we got to get specific. So I helped him with that. And Now he's really good at it. He's actually better than me at it with this, having worked with Shalene for a year. He's like, I'm like, oh, damn, those are good. Mine are boring. But he would write things. We needed our chimney fixed for like 3-4 years. So he would write, get chimney capped on his list. And he would write it the same time every week. And the freakiest things start happening when you do this. We had a landscaper looking at our yard, and he was working on, he's working on the patio. So he's putting the patio in, and he's like, hey, you guys, do you know that your chimney needs to be capped? We're like, yeah, we've been trying to find someone to do it. He's like, oh, you want me to climb up there right now for $150? We're like, yes. Like, we had literally been looking for, we had been calling these mason people, and they weren't getting back to us. Like, nobody would cap our chimney. And once it was put on the list, this guy appeared, capped our chimney. So Mark believes in goal setting now. Another thing he did is he had, he used to work in auto body, so he would paint cars. He was the custom paint guy. And he had a Chevelle that he needed to work on, and he would never make time for it. So he started putting it on the list. And within 3 months, the Chevelle was painted. It literally had been in the shop for 3 years. So again, just writing these down, putting these out there, being consistent with them, sharing them. I put in my personally sponsored coach page every Sunday night. As soon as my goals are done, I post them. And I try to make sure my new coaches know that, my goals didn't look like that 5 years ago, because I don't want to freak them out with the things that I'm writing. But it also helps them look that they can dream bigger. So that is how I goal set. It's how I've been doing it all along. Shalene also shares to kind of do 90-day goals now. And so that's been what we've been doing. We're all working on like hitting things by summit right now as a team. I do write out big goals by the end of the year, maybe like once a month. But every week I'm writing my top 10 goals in the next 90 days. And I don't look back every Sunday night. Another thing that she gives is don't look back. So there's usually 5 or 6 that stay the same every week. And then 3 or 4, depending on like your mood that week, you might just switch up. And then it may go away for a little bit, and then it may reappear. So it just kind of depends on what's going on in your life. But trust the process, be consistent with it. Always match it up with those key priorities. So Mark and I had to redo, since the environment, we're about to close on our house in 60 days. That's not our key priority anymore. So we had to reevaluate that and redo that last week together. We did the categories and we pulled it out, and it's finances, so we can have pool and money as well. But that's how it works. So I'm open for questions for sure, but I hope that was helpful.
I have a few. It was helpful. Okay, couple things. So are you saying every Sunday you write 10 goals?
Yes.
Every Sunday? Okay. And then for the most part, they might stay the same, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And all right, so 10 to me sounds like a lot. So they must be very specific. Could you, like, a couple examples, like besides like, rank and like how many coaches you're putting on, like what would be some of them?
Yeah, so this is my book. I have them in that I write out every week. So it's right here. So let's see. So one of them is we will have a team of 10,000 coaches. We've entered 15-star qualification. Volume is one. How much money we're making a week is one. How much we want to save. I want to start doing webinars, so I have webinars up and running by 5/1. Whoops, missed that one. Goal back down to 125 pounds with no cellulite on my legs. Millionaire Club by Summit, and give regularly to 2 charities of our family's choosing.
Okay, got it.
And then some other ones, like the next week, I didn't look back. A lot of them were the same, but then I talked about planning a leadership retreat. I added in, yeah.
Okay. And I love the idea of posting it as a team. I think, right, my concern would be people have such different goals. Everyone's in such a different place, but I think that would be such a motivating thing if every week someone started that and in the thread was everyone's goals. So guys, watch out. I think I love that. This is not something I'm strong in. I maybe do my 3-month goals end of year, but nothing like this. I haven't taken part in a lot of Shailene's, but it's because of her that I work out in the morning, because I listened to her Car Smart series, and I said I would never work out at 5 a.m. and that is why, because she said it like 14 times, and I said 1 week. She said try it for 1 week, and I did.
Awesome.
So, okay, awesome. Questions?
When you guys do start sharing your goals as a team, try to put blinders on, because what ends up happening is, like, if someone has a goal and they write like, I'm going to be diamond, on June 5th. Oh, well, me too. But if that's not really your goal, don't put it. So just make sure it's true to you. Don't put it because you think you're supposed to, because everybody else is. So just just a caution.
And Nicole, are these goals, so every week you're writing these goals, but are you looking at it like 90 days from that day?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Except right now I have like a summit one, and I just keep saying by summit, by summit, by summit. I might stop saying that mid-June or something, but yeah. So it may be like 30-day goals by then, but.
Gotcha. Okay. And does your team participate? And
Yes. My team knows how much I love this and preach it and lead by example, and even my new coaches. And a lot of times too, like, I coach my coaches, because sometimes when like a new coach, they'll write their goals and they'll just write, lose weight, try to coach, sell a challenge pack. And I'm like, okay, let's talk, and we go through, and then I train them on, I am selling a challenge pack this week, and how to talk it through, and how to word it as if it's already happened. So I'm always teaching that, because you don't want it in list format. You want to feel it. You want to have some emotion behind it. So when you're reading some of these goals out loud, some of them should probably they should either scare the crap out of you, or they should make you cry. Should really have some meaning behind them. And then and journaling about it. One that makes you scared, start journaling about it. How does this make me feel? What is this going to feel like when I get there? And just really write a story about it.
I love that.
We journal a ton on our team. A ton.
Oh, any questions, guys? Oh, okay, Angela, if you don't meet a goal, does it carry over to the following week?
Yes, so I have had a goal to hit 15 star since December of 2013. I just keep setting a new date. The goal never changes if it's in here. If it's in your heart, that goal never changes. Just the date does. It's all good.
And do you put dates? Like, will you say, I want to be making $1,000 by summit?
Yeah. And if there's a rank or a volume, if there's a rank goal, I make sure everybody picks a Thursday date. So like if someone just says like June 1st, I'll go, wait, is that a Thursday? Oh crap, no. So we make sure that we're like consistent with Beachbody World too. So if it's the Beachbody goal. And they don't always all have to be Beachbody goals. Like I said, I added I added a charity one. It's just whatever kind of you want to do. For me, for a while, it was to implement shutting off all electronics from 3 to 7 p.m. every day to be present with my kids. And I could never stick to that, so I had to write it down. Like, it wasn't happening. Like, I needed it to happen. When my 8-year-old told me, she said, "You're always on that phone." And I'm like, I know, I'm going to try really hard. It's plugged in and it's on vibrate, and it just makes me, every time I hear it vibrate, I run to it. And she's like, how about you shut it off? I'm like, and she's 8. So I knew I had to get that on the list.
And it could be business oriented about, like you said, making your webinars or getting organized or having a system. Okay, yeah. Awesome.
Just make sure you're specific on it, but yeah.
Awesome. Anybody have questions on that? Who thinks this is something, whether you do it publicly or not, because I would never make anybody do anything public if you were uncomfortable, but who thinks that this, whether you do it publicly or not, or we do it as a team, or you do it with your husband, or you put it and stick it on your bathroom wall, who thinks this is something that they're going to try? Once a week, take 5 minutes and just write 10 sentences. I'm going to do it. Because
I also, when I first started doing it too, sometimes it's hard to do it at home. So like, I would drive to a place that would make me feel calm and near water. Water, like, totally, I don't know if you guys, I think I say this on social media all the time, but do you have your best ideas in the shower, like, ever, right? Like, all of a sudden in the shower, you're like, and you run out and you have to write stuff down. They need to have a waterproof whiteboard for showers.
That's so true.
Yeah. So I go near, if I'm like having a mental block on my goals, I drive near water. I drive to a lake, a stream, somewhere, the beach, somewhere where there's water, so that I can, so that the ideas stop flowing.
All right, awesome. Any questions, guys? I'm just reading all the chats. I'm in. I want to implement this. I will definitely, absolutely love this. Thank you, Nicole. I'll try. Lynn, come on, we're going to do this. I'll definitely do it. I will for sure. I would do it. I am. All right, awesome, guys. We're doing it. You don't have to post it publicly. I would, as long as you're going to do it, I'm happy. We write, okay, good. Any questions before we lose her and then we can't ask her? I'm only kidding. I'm sure she'll tell me if I ask her. All right, I actually have a little anxiety right now.
It's fun.
I'm gonna get to it. I have to do it. So if I can, I have to do it.
And you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna just have natural conversations about it. I saw someone just say they had 7, so I would post your 7, and then post your post the categories, what you ranked, and so that maybe someone else could pop up. Well, how about, if you have a leisure one that you want to do, then something about. Oh, the other thing I used to do is I made sure Mark and I had a date night every week. At first, when we didn't have money, it was just at home on Friday nights, but that was something we committed to relationship-wise. Mm-hmm. I knew I could do better at giving him more of my time and attention, so we did a weekly date night on Fridays. Now it just happens, but that was something I needed to focus on. So, okay. Anything.
You mentioned Sundays. My mind operates, like you said, in Beachbody world. So for me, I would feel like I should start a goal on Thursday.
That's fine. Yeah, Sundays for me, I'm winding down. I'm assessing my team and making sure everybody's lined up in the sponsorship drill down. Like, it's like a gear up for the week thing for me. So I just have always done Sundays.
Okay.
But whatever you want. Monday morning, Thursday night, whatever.
Okay. And so guys, I'm gonna start a thread, and then if you feel like you would like to add to the thread, we'll put them all in one place so that we can stay on top of them and they won't be all over the place. So we'll do that.
And I do share them. Someone asked, I saw the thing pop up, do you share it outside of just your husband? Yes, I share it with the team. I share it with my diamonds. I sometimes share it publicly on my my Nicole L. Jones like page. I actually have a freemium out there called successwithgoalsetting.com. And that is basically you just put your email in, and I have a whole free report with audio and podcast that I share this whole thing, and I go into more detail, so you feel free to grab that. So it's successwithgoalsetting.com, but that's out on my like page for anyone and everyone to just grab, and it's a free report. Like I said, it comes with a PDF, and it comes with podcasts that I did.
And it's success with, and you spell out with
Yep.
setting.com. Okay, successwithgoalsetting.com, guys. All right, we're gonna start doing goals. I know I always ask people, or what are your goals? But you know, this is different. This is really creating a habit once a week. Can you imagine committing to something like this? What changed for us? So this is something I think will be a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to commit to it, even if it's just me writing it and hanging it on my wall. So thank you, Nicole.
You bet.
Awesome. Okay, any questions before we let Nicole go? I'm just checking the chat. Do you share goals outside of hubby? Meaning, does she tell people outside of her husband?
Yep. So I just answered that. I do it on my like page. I did. Yep.
I think if we talk amongst each other or to our upline to discuss, I think it's easier when you can talk to somebody to help you be realistic with them. Absolutely. If you guys are struggling, like I wouldn't know what to write, have that on your next call with your upline. Hopefully you guys are all talking to your upline. Say, you know what, can we go through those 10 things from that the Thursday night call? Let them help you with that. It's not easy to write goals. Like I told you, I have some anxiety about it. So feel free to do that, or if you want to check with me or any of the leaders on the team, feel free. All right, Angela, thank you. All right, well, good night, guys. Thank you so much, Nicole, for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's our privilege. You guys have a great night.
Good night, everyone.